guys, it's Grace, and today I'm going to be doing my July wrap-up. I feel like I just did my June wrap-up, but honestly that's probably just because I did it like the middle of July. I only finished 2 books this month, which again, kind of pathetic, but I always have reading slumps in the summer, and it's horrible, and I just want to kick these reading slumps in the butt and start reading more again. Very Shadowhunter-y month for me. I finished 2 books involving the Shadowhunter world, so we're just gonna jump right in and talk about the 2 books I finished. The first book I finished in July is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. Sorry if I pronounced any of those wrong. That's a lot of names on one book. This book, I did really enjoy it, of course, as it did involve the Shadowhunter world, and Simon is the main character, and I love Simon. But I still gave it only a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which isn't horrible, but it isn't like a 5, or fantastic that I usually give any of Cassandra Clare's books. And I think part of the reason behind that is that I just have a hard time focusing on these like story compilations, and while this is technically a chronological story following Simon in his adventures as he tries to become a Shadowhunter, a full-fledged Shadowhunter, it just fell a little flat for me because the stories felt kind of separated, and it wasn't like one big conflict like there usually is in stories and then like smaller conflicts surrounding it. It was just small conflicts, really, it seemed. So that was kind of frustrating to me, and I couldn't get as into the story as I usually can with any of Cassie Clare's books. I really like it. The stories, I was enjoying them, but I just kind of felt like I had to start back over and getting excited over them as each new like chapter or section of the story began. It was really good, but not quite what I was looking for, as is usually the case with these type of like filler stories. And the next book I read, and last book, that's pathetic, is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I have been wanting to read this book forever, since it came out basically. I bought it, I believe, like right when it came out, but I just didn't get around to it until just now. I had so many other books I was trying to read, and I just didn't read this one, and then I was like, oh, well, Lord of Shadows is coming out soon, so I'll read it when that comes out, and Lord of Shadows has now been out for a couple months, and I still haven't read it yet. But I did read this one, and I loved it. I adore Julian and Emma. They are wonderful characters, and of course all of Julian's siblings are great. There was a lot going on, so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I see potential for the story to go crazy in the next book. I've heard amazing things about Lord of Shadows. I kind of got spoiled for part of it, if what I heard was right. I'm kind of bummed out about that. But I'm really excited to get to that one. I'm reading a book in between because I'm kind of Shadowhuntered out. I didn't think it was possible, but I've been reading a lot of Shadowhunter books lately, so I'm taking a little break before I start Lord of Shadows. And then I'll be jumping right into it, and I'm so excited. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It's probably one of my favorite books I finished so far in 2017. The only reason I didn't finish it sooner, I think, was because of my reading slump, and I just didn't feel like reading. But once I got into it and I like sat down and actually started reading this, there was no pulling me away from it. It was just absolutely wonderful, and I loved this book so very much. That is it for my July wrap-up. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, comment below what books you read this month, and subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video. I'll see you next time. Bye!